The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Andy Brownell here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. It's Saturday morning and time for our chat with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
So we, as a community, Rochester, being the Rochester area, all of southeastern Minnesota for that matter, got some exciting news this week from the Mayo Clinic. They, I think they surprised everyone with that announcement.
Yeah, that was awesome. For those who don't know, I don't know where you've been if you haven't heard, but you know, with the doctors having to take a pay cut and initially supposed to end at the end of the year, and now they've pulled that back, and I think everybody's back to their normal pay, and the furloughs have ended, so Mayo is basically back to back to full operation, which I think is such an important fact for our entire community.
It is. Well, it's the economic driver of not only Rochester, but this entire region. It's, 34,000 people are employed by this operation.
Yeah.
It touches everybody's lives. I did see the one statistic that the Mayo Clinic included when they announced this was that by the middle of this month, so a week or so ago, they were up to basically 90% of their normal levels as far as seeing patients, and they anticipate that easily to be the 100% here, if not today or in the very, very near future. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've said this week after week that when Mayo Clinic looks back to normal, that's when our real estate market is going to be back to normal. And we've kind of followed along very closely. When things got pretty silent and quiet at Mayo, the same thing happened in our real estate market, and we've just kind of mirrored them along the way. So I'm happy to see everything back to normal. It's a really good sign for everybody. And
I anticipate it'll likely ramp up over the next month or so as those furloughed workers come back in shifts.
Right.
And they're able to accept even more patients and do more procedures, and that means a big boost for the local economy, that's for sure.
Yeah, which is great. So I feel like, every week I've been talking about how our CEO has sent out statistics, and she's broke them down for our company, RE/MAX Results, and she's told us what things are doing, up north in Lake Superior and St. Cloud and Mankato and in Wisconsin and in the Twin Cities. And, of course, the one I've focused on mostly is here in Rochester. But it's been really good to see that right now we're actually ahead of where we were last year in every single category except inventory. Except inventory. So we've got more showings, we've got more new listings, we've got more pending transactions, and that's not only just in the Rochester office but company-wide. But inventory, on the other hand, there are a total, and this is from CMAR, in the Rochester-Austin area, so this is not just the RE/MAX Results, this is the entire real estate, all the companies, of course. In the month of May for 2020, we had a total of 1,149 houses to sell versus 1,452 for the month of May last year. And last year we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
And the year before, in 2018, we had 1,300, and we thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And now we're even, 150 less than that. So definitely still need houses to sell, for sure, because the buyers are out there, the interest rates are great, and everybody says, well, then where am I going to go? So that's kind of the deal.
Yeah, but we've had that discussion, too, that if folks look at that interest rate and actually factor it in, they might have an eye-opening experience if they sit down and chat with someone like you about what might be available to them, considering the equity they have built up in the property they currently own.
the equity they have built up, and then the buying power you get with that lower interest rate. It's amazing, just 1% lower, how much more buying power that gives you for the same payment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, time to move up.
Well, part of this, I wonder if we still have folks who are not listing, who were planning to this year, but then with the pandemic, canceled those plans, and perhaps now with what's happening, at least here in Minnesota, perhaps rethinking that, and maybe you might see. I have no way of knowing if it's going to happen, but perhaps that will lead to a bump up in inventory in the coming months.
I believe it's going to, because when we talked about, salaried employees at Mayo taking a 7% cut, physicians taking 20% cut, that's a lot of money. And if they're going to take that cut all the way and through the end of the year, maybe it would make sense to do the move up next year. But now that that's all been reinstated, people may not put their plans on hold for quite as long.
So what we could see here at the end of the summer, which was what you had kind of predicted back in March, is a red-hot real estate situation here in the Rochester area.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to put your house on the market, it's going to sell. I can tell you that. And if you want to buy a house, never been a better time as far as your interest rate and your buying power. I can promise you that. So, yeah, I don't know what people are waiting for. I think it's time.
And as you pointed out, there is pent-up demand on the purchasing side of this because of everything you just talked about, that the resurgent economy and the low interest rates.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
You just need to have some,
well, and I think like you said, Andy, when people are back to work and it's like, okay, now I'm not just called back, but I've actually been back for a month or two, and I can actually see and feel that things are back to normal. And let's hope, like you said, let's hope we don't follow the South and have a whole nother, outbreak of COVID and have our numbers go the wrong direction. I'm so happy and proud that our numbers have remained steady and dropping.
Yeah, it's everybody is extraordinarily hopeful when you talk to state health officials and even local public health that we will not see that resurgence, especially since what happened after the protest occurred.
Right.
And they did the mass testing in the Twin Cities, and they did not find evidence that a whole bunch of people were infected during that. In fact, they were a little bit surprised, I think, that as few as numbers that were found to be infected were infected, and it wasn't even necessarily tied to the protests.
Well, and there were a lot of people wearing masks, and no matter where you go, you see a lot of people wearing masks, so I think that plays a big part in it.
Yeah, I just, when you talk to me about the numbers being already back to normal or even above normal region-wide based upon the statistics gathered by the company, I've got to think that you might have a really, really busy July and August, maybe even into September.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I'm ready for it. It's definitely picking up. Today, I'll after the show, I'll be going to do an open house. So, I'm ready to work. You know that.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll take a break, and when we come back, we can talk about those open houses that are coming up today.
Yeah,
if you're looking for something to check out, if you're kind of on the edge of this thing, maybe go see some of these properties, and we'll talk more with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE results in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back and good morning, everyone. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE results on this Saturday, and being a Saturday, it's open house day, I imagine. Right?
Yeah, we have a few. I'm doing one right after the show this morning. So I will be going over to 888 Piccadilly Lane Northwest. Those are those old Essex Estates townhomes, that whole townhome project that we've got going on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's really fun to see the progress. So anybody who stopped in during the Builders Parade of Homes, I would invite you to come back now and see, because the siding is on, the garage doors are on, the countertops are in, the flooring is in, so they're really taking shape, and it's really fun to see the difference. So that, for anybody who's not familiar, that's a one-level ranch-style townhome with an unfinished lower level. So on the main floor, we've got 1,503 square feet with 2 bedrooms, a sunroom, 2 bathrooms, a dining room, a living room, really nice big open concept, vaulted ceiling. Wow. Yeah, very nice, very, very nice. And we can certainly finish the basement, part of it or all of it. And then it's 2 units connected, so one is completely finished and one is in progress. And then the next 2 that we're going to start are going to be slab on grade, and I'll have the floor plans there today, so if anybody wants to see what they're going to look like, I'll have that with me as well. So I would encourage you to come on out and check out that new townhome subdivision that's going up northwest.
And you don't have to think about mowing the lawn or shoveling the snow.
Right, and it's the price is in the high 3s, so we're probably targeting those people that have big homes that want to downsize, but still need space for their adult children or their grandchildren or all of their things. So they're not ready to go too small. They still want to have a nice, sizable home, nice for entertaining, but very, very low maintenance. And like you said, the worries go away because you do nothing.
And it's so convenient where that is located to get downtown, because all you do is jump onto West River Road, and then you're right across 37th, and you follow West River Parkway down 3rd, and you're in downtown Rochester in 6 minutes.
Yeah, super nice. Really nice to get to the clinic, or if you want to go the other way, to get out to the highway to head to Lake City or to head up to the Twin Cities. Yeah, but yet when you're out there, you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's very, very peaceful and quiet. I noticed when I was there during the Builders Parade, it was really nice out, so I sat outside in a lawn chair, and I thought, wow, this is one place in the city that I cannot hear any car noise. None. Right? No road noise. None. 0 road noise. I could not hear any road noise anywhere around me. All I could hear was birds chirping, and it was really nice, actually.
Yeah, because when you think about the major road would be 55th Street, and that's on the other side of the hill.
Right. Yep. So it's very, very peaceful and quiet out there. So come on out and see me. I'll be there from 11 o'clock until 12:30. And if you don't make it today, tomorrow morning we've got somebody there from 10:30 until noon. So, come check that one out. All right. And might as well talk about the other open houses that the Gwaltney Group has today as well.
Absolutely.
Michael Grobe, oh my gosh, if you just want to go hang out with somebody sweet, you might want to go to this one, whether you're buying a house or not. You don't find somebody nicer than Michael. So Michael is going to hold a new listing that we have at 4565 35th Street Northwest. And this one is an oversized split. It's got 1,452 square feet on one level. So it's pretty big. It's 2,822 square feet. Yeah, it's a big split, and it's 4 bedrooms. It's got a 3-car garage. It's got 3 bathrooms. Very new. It was built in 2015, so it's a 5-year-old house. That's like a 6-month-old car, right? I mean, it's a new house. And it still
has the new house smell on it, for goodness.
Yeah, it's very well maintained, and it has a beautifully landscaped yard, a nice deck. I mean, it's just awesome, and it is $354,900. So it's in a very nice, attainable price range, especially with these interest rates. I mean, this with the rates the way they are now. These are the people who were looking at $319,900, before. So it's pretty exciting, honestly.
So it jumps up that much. Just because the rates are this low. Wow. Yeah,
I mean, depending on, like if you bought a house when the rates were even a couple percent higher, it just makes such a difference. So yeah, we're hovering right at that 3% mark. So it's really impressive. All right, so Michael's going to be there. He's there actually from 10 o'clock this morning until noon.
Okay.
So go see Michael. It's a great house. And then we have Sherry. And you've met Sherry, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yeah. I met Michael too.
Yeah, I knew you knew Michael. So yeah, Sherry is doing a two-story that we have up in the Century High School neighborhood. It's at 2874 Oakview Drive, Northeast. So it's on the opposite side of the Viola Road as Century.
Okay,
and
the south
kind of
side,
back in there. Yeah, and it's really nice because where it's located, if you're sitting on the back deck, you have just a gorgeous view of the city of Rochester. So it's got a really nice view out the back, and it's in a great neighborhood. Lots of families with kids of all ages, and you see people out walking their dogs and pushing their strollers. Lots of life up in that neighborhood. And that one is 459.9, and it's a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-story. That has a 3-car garage. It was built by Dan Severson back in 2003.
Okay.
He's such a good builder. It's just kind of ironic because those townhomes that I have on Piccadilly are being built by Dan Severson right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's been building in the Rochester area for 30 plus, maybe even 40 years. I don't mean to age you, Dan, if you're listening. But yeah, great builder with a great reputation and such quality work. But anyway, Dan had custom built this home for these people back in 2003, and they took a job transfer, moved away, and they would have liked to pick their house up and taken it with them because they just loved the home. So it's going to make somebody very happy. It is $459.9. I think I mentioned that. And Sherry's there until noon today. So check her out.
Everybody's got an open house this morning, that's for sure. Now, that's what they call the Century Hills neighborhood? Is that what they call it?
Century Hills, yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
okay.
That's correct.
That is a beautiful part of the city, that's for sure.
Yeah, and especially they just got one of the first lots up there, so they were able to pick and get that really pretty view of downtown skyline. It's really nice.
I bet the sunsets are just incredible there when you're looking off, because you kind of look through the downtown as the sun is setting.
To the west, yep, that's exactly right.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, so a busy day for open houses today with the Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results. Robin Gwaltney's with us. I'm Andy Brownell, and we'll be back in just a moment on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Andy Brownell along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on the Saturday morning, and goodness gracious, we're almost halfway into the summer, Robin.
That's crazy.
And I know you, in the summertime especially, are traditionally crazy busy doing all sorts of community things, whether it be down on Thursdays downtown or
exactly
picnics, or I don't know. It seemed like last summer you were every single week had some sort of major event taking place that you personally or the Gwaltney Group was involved in, and this has got to be really strange for you this year.
Oh, it's so different. One of the things that I am the most passionate about is the level of community involvement that we have as a team and the things that I'm involved with individually. And it's not that those nonprofits have gone away, or like Thursdays on First, we become a major sponsor and we get out and see all of our clients, past clients, friends, and it's just so much fun to interact. And, everything is just not happening. Everything is virtual. So it's all been kind of pulled out from under us, and I miss that.
I bet that is a major part of your summer months.
I actually had a phone call this week from a guy named Verl Workman. He's a really well-known real estate coach, and he is doing this piece called The Faces of Real Estate, and he's interviewing realtors from across the country and putting together some documentary about all of the community service and giving and doing that realtors do. And he called upon me, which I was very honored, and he said that I had been nominated by another top agent through the RE/MAX network from another state. Anyway, he said, Robin, tell me about the kind of things that you do and, have been doing. And it just made me sad to think, gosh, we've not been doing a lot other than, helping out financially, but I've attended some virtual board meetings. Oh my gosh, I'm so virtual board meetinged out, Andy, and virtual Zoom meetings. And I just want real meetings. I'm ready to be back with my people.
I know. When you brought up, these organizations that rely on those events that bring out all those people to have fun.
Right.
And it allows them to fundraise and also raise awareness about what they're doing and the reason their missions are so important within the community. And I know they're struggling to get their messages out.
Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I mean, even though we do have, some of the organizations have had some virtual fundraisers, it's just not the same.
Nope.
People go to those things to interact with other people and, of course, to support the great causes. I mean, absolutely. But I think a letter in the mail saying we need your money is probably just as effective as tune in to the virtual fundraiser, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I think we're missing the whole aspect of the party, right?
Yeah. I guess that's something that we all have to keep in mind, too, is instead of being able to go to the party or the picnic or the concert or whatever it is, those groups, when they do send the letters out, they do actually need your donations.
Absolutely. They more than ever. And the sad thing is that when you think about community and Rochester and summer, everybody thinks about Thursdays downtown. I mean, you go downtown on Thursdays, any normal summer, and everybody is there. You get to catch up with everybody, you get to see everybody, and I know everybody misses it.
Oh, yeah. And we miss our Down by the Riverside concerts.
Right.
Well, we miss just being able to hang out places in large gatherings. And 2020, right?
Yeah.
Well,
what a year.
I saw a meme. I wish I could remember it. Oh yeah, I know what it was. It was down the road in the future, 10 years down the road, people will start to make references about when things go completely off the tracks or go haywire, whatever it may be. They go, oh yeah, that sure went 2020 on us, didn't it?
Oh yeah, that's so funny. True, very true. Yeah, it's been a challenging year, but I think a lot of it, we've talked about there's been a lot of positive that's come out of it, right? It's made us really aware of what we do have to be grateful for and to appreciate. And when I was talking to Verl on the interview, he said, describe your community. I said, we're not a huge community, but we're a big, small town. We're really closely knit for being a city of only over 100,000, 110, 120. And then the outlying communities, I said, everywhere you go, you know people. And I said, I think we are per capita income is high versus other places in the state. Level of education is high, and I think greatly due to the fact that we have so many physicians and nurses and technicians and medical people, right?
Right.
But I said, I think we are a big, small town, very generous, who genuinely care about each other, and I think that's what makes Rochester such a special community. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. And he's like, "Oh, I want to move there."
Well, I agree with everything you just said. I'm a lifelong resident, and that's why I stay. And the evidence is always right in front of you that when a need comes up, the people are there. The donations come in, and I came of age in the late 1970s when this town was devastated by a horrible flood.
Right.
And friends of mine, they lost their homes, and we were lucky enough to live in high ground where that didn't happen. But everybody in town that summer
pulled together.
Yeah, it was. Nobody asked. You went out and you did what you could. You helped people shovel mud out of their homes, and it's just been consistently that way. And that's why I know that all these wonderful nonprofits that we have, I think our supporters are not going to forget about them. So that's my hopes. Yeah, and just a reminder that they're there. And boy, in those groups that we're talking about, they really stepped up to the plate too. As far as getting the food out in the early days of the pandemic to the kids for their lunches while the schools weren't in session, and putting together packages for folks who were left without jobs as the furloughs and the layoffs were hitting full steam. So we have a lot to be proud of, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do.
So
No doubt about that.
I, like you, am looking forward to normalcy, and hopefully sooner than later. And
We're headed in the right direction.
that's what we. Well, good luck with the open houses this morning
Thank you.
and the rest of the day, Robin, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Sounds great, Andy.
Fantastic. Robin Gwaltney. Oh, wait. I almost forgot how to get a hold of you.
Oh, gosh. You should have it memorized. Call me on my cell phone anytime. I'm happy to talk. My phone number is 507-259-4926. I look forward to your calls.
Fantastic, especially if you have a house you want to sell, correct?
Absolutely.
Get that inventory going. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM at 96.9 FM.